Hi, welcome to All Shook Up. Today I want to talk to you about my family support, how that's all worked out for me. I know I've mentioned it a little bit in some other videos, but I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit today and let y'all know how that's worked out for me. My immediate family is my husband, Danny, and my two sons, Camden, who's 11, Grayson, who is 6, and they've been wonderful through all this. I have a great support system in my surrounding family. I have some family that lives in town with me and some other family that lives close by in other towns that have been great with doctor's appointments, helping out with the kids, all kinds of stuff. So definitely very lucky, very blessed to have all this help and all this understanding. And gosh, really just everybody that's been so helpful through all this. I know a lot of other people have struggled with people not understanding that this really is a disease, a problem that it's hard to deal with. It can affect being able to get/hold down a job. Which, yeah, I can't imagine not having a good support system in place, people not understanding that it affects your memory, it affects your mood, it affects remembering things. So again, thank you to my family if you're watching. Love you guys. But all right, so let's start with my kiddos. A lot of people have asked, do they know? How have you addressed that with them? Have they seen it? That kind of stuff. So Camden, my 11-year-old, I think they've seen a little bit of one grand mal, tonic, clonic. I don't know. Y'all are going to hear me say grand mal. That's just what I like to call them. That's what I've known. Da-da-da-da-da. Whatever. Grand mal, that's what I call it. The convulsing, unconscious, whatever, seizure. I know Danny's been there for all of those, and he immediately tells him, go to your room, go to your room, when that happens, just because they don't need to see it. But I think in the early stages of that, when we were trying to figure out medications, that kind of stuff, some of those early medications affected my mood, irritability, that kind of things. I may have gotten short, snapped at him a couple of times. And, he mentioned to Danny that upset him, rightfully so. And bless his heart, he might have mentioned that he was upset about that. And he later on, when it was explained to him what was going on, he said he felt better knowing that I had brain damage and that he understood more. And, that was a good way to explain to him, Andrea has brain damage. She, didn't mean to get upset. She's just going through a lot, trying to figure out what's going on. And then I personally apologized to him, said, I never meant to upset you. This is what's happening. Let me know, in the moment, say, hey, I don't like how you're talking to me, da-da-da. And luckily it hasn't been an issue since. We've gotten that figured out. Medication has changed since then, so fingers crossed. But again, we're in a place where we can all talk to each other and communicate well. So, that hasn't been an issue with that. And then another time with Camden, this was only last year, I think, I had a light aura seizure where you just see flashing lights, and these aren't as extreme as the grand mal seizures. And I knew it was coming, and it was just me and Camden alone in the house. Danny was at work or something like that. And I texted Danny, hey, I'm about to have one. I'm just going to sit on the couch and relax. Just kind of get through it. And so he FaceTimed me on my iPhone, and I was sort of starting to get a little bit loopy. I was like, I'm okay. Whatever. And he said, give Camden the phone. So, bless his little heart. Camden sat on the couch with me, and just because Danny was calm, Camden was calm, we were all calm, and I sometimes get into a euphoria state where I'm just kind of floaty. I'm feeling good, feeling nice. Now, it is not always that way with these light aura ones. This was just a nice one where I was okay. So I could kind of hear them talking to each other, where Danny was keeping him calm, because when that started happening, Danny got in his car and immediately started driving home. So yeah, Camden was great, just chilling out, making sure I was okay. And yeah. Just stayed with me until we were fine. And so that was his experience with that. Now, Grayson, my 6-year-old, bless his heart, he was with me for a tonic clonic. It was here in the living room. We were on the couch, and like I said, I'm fine pretty soon after. So it was about an hour after it had happened. And he came up to me, worried. He was like, "Mom, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." He's like, "You made a funny sound." I was like, "I did? What was it?" Bless his heart. He said, it was like, I was like, trying not to laugh and just horrified. I looked over at Danny, and he's like, so I was like, "I did?" He's like, yeah, he was totally concerned, straight face. And I was like, "That sounds crazy, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, and then you did a shaking thing." I'm like, wow, really?" He's like, "Yeah. Are you okay? Did it hurt?" I was like, "No, it didn't hurt at all." And I was like, "You know how sometimes your iPad, you gotta reboot it because it freezes, you gotta turn it on and off?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, that's kind of what happened to my brain. It just, it stopped and had to recharge and reboot." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "So don't worry, it didn't hurt. I don't remember it. I didn't feel it. It just, went a little crazy." And he said, "Oh, okay." So, went through that. Sorry, my camera died and I had to switch places. So anyway, I think I was saying, the kids understand it's not anything scary. Just we're working on fixing it with medications and doctor's visits, and nothing to be afraid of. So moving on to my husband, Danny, who's amazing. We've known each other since we were babies. Our moms were best friends, and growing up, we'd always hang out. Then they moved away, so we'd check in every few years. And gosh, about 5-6 years ago, I hadn't seen Danny in about 20 years, and somehow we ended up in the same city, and I saw him online, and I was like, "Hey, I know that guy." And what I thought was just going to be a meetup just to check in turned into, a year later, we were married, living in a different city, and had a kid on the way. So you could say it was love it, not at first sight, but a sight again. So, perfect match. We have same sense of humor. We get along great. We're totally in sync. So love him to death. Been amazing to me, for me. Awesome. So, as I mentioned before, I think in a different video, I'm going to say this wrong. He has his doctorate in philosophy with physiology and biology. He's the director of graduate studies in the local university. He's a professor. He runs a graduate program at the local university. Yeah, so he's been a huge help in that regard, with going to every single doctor's appointment with me, and being able to speak their language. Some people have said, "How can you let him talk for you or not be your own advocate?" And it's like, I love that he can do that for me, and he's not talking for me. He's just, able to voice what I can't, what I don't understand or remember. So, I appreciate that. And another point is, hi, I'm Andrea. I'm an introvert, where, I can fake it till I make it. Where I can, you know, do the small talk for when I need to, but at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. And he is a people person. He can talk to all the doctors, nurses, ER people, and ICU people, which we'll get into later. But yeah, so he's great at it. He doesn't mind. I'm not putting him out by having him come with me to all these things. So gosh, I really appreciate it. And it's been super helpful in helping me understand what's being said and what's going on. So again, I couldn't ask for a better partner through all this and helping me navigate all that's happened. So I'd love to hear in the comments down below what your guys' support situation's like, or if you're struggling or what you're going through. So please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And also check out my Throwback Thursday series, where I chronologically go through the seizures I've had and probably will have. And hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.